Today, we want to remind you that the real magic of this conversation is in its application. It's all fine and good for us to talk about the theory of what we mean when we talk about inspired action. But we really do want to invite you to notice that you are in this right place at this right time in this right way. So, knowing that you are in this right time at this right place in this right way, you cannot actually ever be anywhere else but in this right time, in this right place, in this right way. That's all that can happen. So there's no necessary precaution of needing to be very careful about what you do, although we understand why when it comes to a topic like this, particularly, for instance, for those of you who are thinking about this in terms of your livelihood or your money, that you want to be extremely cautious. Because in the chaotic universe, that's important. That's, in fact, not only important, but it's necessary. And not only is it important and necessary, it's downright ridiculous if you don't, and we understand that. But this is not a chaotic universe conversation. This is an intentional universe conversation, the one that you actually live in. So, today we want to invite you to put these ideas to the test, to actually try them out, to ask us your questions, to bring us the contrast to the table, and to say, well, I want this, and I want that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, but I think I need to do this, and I think I should do that. And let us, to whatever extent that we can, help you sort that out. Because the goal here is not to get really good at understanding the concept. Understanding is, as we like to say, the booby prize. You don't really get a lot for understanding. You get intellectual satisfaction, but intellectual satisfaction is all theoretical. It's in the application of an idea. It's in the tasting of the pudding, where all the proof is found. That's where it works. That's where it happens. So today we invite you to think about what is it that you want to do. Now, before you answer that question, the first thing we would suggest is that you put your attention on what it is that you intend to have that you currently perceive yourself as not having. Now remember, we know that you already have it. And intellectually, you might say, well, I already have it, so that's not a real valid point. But the point here is, in fact, you're noticing how much or how little of it you actually have. That we would recommend. That we would suggest that you notice. That is something that could be very helpful indeed. We suggest that you put your attention on this, that you notice how much or how little there is at play here, and that you let yourself have whatever it is, whatever it may be, that you're actually wanting here. But first, you want to put your imagination on it. First, you want to feel your way into it. First, you just want to notice, yes, it is my intention to have a brand new car. Yes, it is my intention to have a big pile of cash. Yes, it is my intention to have a very deeply satisfying, meaningful relationship with my beloved. Yes, it is my intention to have this experience as I want it in the way that I define it, knowing that as good as I can define it and as wonderfully powerful as I can imagine it, it really is only going to be better in its manifestation, because that's the nature of the expansion of the physical universe that is happening through me and the unconditional love that I am. So that's done. You imagine, and then pay attention. What action do you feel? What action rises up? And sometimes you'll have that thought. There's this thing that just keeps coming to me and coming to me, and I'm going to go do it. Perfect. Sometimes you'll have the thought of nothing, just blank. There's no inspired action. Perfect. Sometimes you'll have the thought, well, there's something I need to do. I probably should be doing something. Pay attention to the difference vibrationally between the first two and the third one. In the first two, it feels better to go take action. It rises up. It's obvious. It's simple. It's easy. It's right there. And you go and you do it. And it's good. And it's perfect. Sometimes there's no action to take, and that actually feels better, and you feel the relief of that. But sometimes you have opinions. You have opinions that come in and say, well, wait a second. I'm a thought that you gave birth to a long time ago that said, you better make sure that I don't ever miss a trick. You better make sure that I get everything done. You better make sure I get off my ass and get things happening and make things move and shake the trees and make things fall out. And it's going to have something to tell you. Now, not every one of you has a thought like that, but many of you do have thoughts similar to that. You pay attention and you notice that, again, you're in the right place at the right time in the right way. And it would really be helpful. It would really be helpful if you would decide that you are in this right place at this right time in this right way right now, and that everything is actually happening for you, because it is. Noticing that, then go back. Is there anything for me to do? Is there anything that I want? Is there anything I want to do from here? I want to do. Is there anything that rises up? And if there is, go do it. And if there isn't, go do something else. Go do something that feels better. Now, intellectually, you may think, well, I need to take action regarding this topic. So this inspired action that has arisen, it doesn't seem to be at all connected to this topic, to my brand new car or my amazing relationship. Because I really need to go sit down with my beloved and tell them exactly what it is that I'm thinking. That's my opinion, at least. And you can tell as your energy begins to fall that that may not actually be exactly right. And you can also tell the desperation that arises in the idea, well, I need to do something, just anything, go get it done, just make it happen. Make a foot forward that says to the universe, I'm taking action, and we know that's a very big new thought idea. Go put things in motion because the universe will then respond. Well, the universe responds to your thoughts, not your actions. You respond to your actions. And sometimes, yes, doing something just to look busy can actually feel better. But you'll know in the doing of it. You don't have to understand the principle. You don't have to figure out why you're doing it. You don't need to question your motivation. Does it feel better in the doing of it or not? And the only way you'll know is if you go do it. So you put one foot out and then suddenly you think, nope, that's not it. You can feel the energy begin to contract. You can feel that you're walking away from the truth of who you are. Because remember, the intellectual analysis of what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to get there is a template that has to be placed on top of intuition. Intuition is always going to be there. It's the deep running current that is never ending. Infinite intelligence is always giving you exactly what is right for you at the right moment, at the right time. You have individuated yourself to such an extent that you now believe you have thoughts that sit apart from intuition and infinite intelligence, when in fact you don't really. But that's actually the part of you that we're constantly talking to. The part of you that does believe that you can think bad thoughts, that you can do wrong things, which you never really can do. That fear that you have of running amok, if you just did exactly what you wanted to do and you would run amok, that fear comes out of this idea. It comes out of actually the application of this idea. That in fact what you're doing is managing your intuition, because your intuition is not trustworthy. You were told this over and over again. You believe it. Most of you believe it a great deal. Some of you less than others. The quality, the quantity, the duration of your belief about this thought is not significant. What is significant is that it isn't true. Your intuition is perfect. Infinite intelligence is exquisite in its delivery to you of precisely the right thing at the right time in the right way. Because you were trained to push against what you have in order to get more of something. But notice push and get. You do have to overlay your intuition. You do have to push it away. You do have to smother it and cover it with a blanket. You do have to sort of kick it to the side in order to accomplish that. But you just think that's natural and normal. However, what's really happening, what's really, really true, is that your intuition, infinite intelligence, these things are always at work for you. Always. And so when you take a deep breath and you just pay attention to what is rising up and you let it help you, it's amazing what can happen. It's amazing how wonderful and delicious and delightful this can be. It's astonishing, in fact, if you'll notice. Something wonderful is always at play here. Something amazing and something powerful is always happening. And you're in the middle of it. You can take action or not take action. It's up to you. we would suggest that you take action because it feels better in the taking. We would suggest that you notice that you're in this right place at this right time in this right way right now. And that as good as all of this feels, as wonderful and delicious and delightful as all of this is, it really truly is only getting better and better from here. That's absolutely positively the case. So it's happening. It's happening for you. It's happening on your behalf. It's happening to your benefit. And it's amazing. It's amazing indeed what is going on. Now today, we highly, highly recommend that you notice not only that this is what is going on, but that you give yourself the benefit of the awareness of it. Give yourself the benefit of taking the action. Give yourself the benefit of noticing that you're in the right place at the right time in the right way right now. Let yourself have what it is that you're wanting, and let it be okay in the having of it. So you're here, and it's good, and as powerful and delightful and delicious as all of this is, it really truly is only getting better and better from here. So, here you are today, in this right place, at this right time, in this right way, and life is wonderful. Life is great. Life is grand. You may not be plugged into that, but it is nonetheless the case. And because you're in this right place at this right time in this right way, you're completely safe to practice with any of this, letting yourself have as much or as little as you want. And knowing that as good as this is, as powerful as this is, it really truly is only going to get better and better and better from here. And that is absolutely positively the case. So, our suggestion is put your attention to your intention. Notice what it is that you're intending. Notice what in your intention you believe, and whether you're right about the belief or not is not the point. You have contrast that says, I don't have this. If you have that kind of contrast, then put your attention to the intention that you have in the having of it. Notice it, see it, feel it, have it in that moment, and then pay attention what inspired action is rising up. This is the proof of the pudding. This is the tasting that we're talking about. This is the trying it out, seeing how it works, kicking the tires, see what happens, get your hands dirty. We highly recommend this. We're not having these conversations for the theory of it, although you can use whatever you want from whatever we offer in any way you wish. But our suggestion is apply, use, try, see what happens. So, having offered this, the final thing we want to say is the thing that we love to say the most, that as good as all of this is, and it's astonishing how wonderful and delightful and delicious it all is, as wonderful as it is, it really truly is only going to be getting better and better and better from here.